It's okay to take a break and figure your life out.
Hey y'all, this is the People's Finder podcast by Robert Greene. Illuminate that which is hidden within you.
Hey loves, welcome to the People's Finder podcast. I'm your host, Mera Burimo. How has your week been? My week has been amazing, but I found myself complaining the way my January has been so busy, and I just wanted to relax a little bit more. But then I remember that there was a time in my life where I wished that I was this busy because, guys, I hate being idle. I'm those kind of people who work while still in university, yes, but then I came to realize that we all have seasons in our lives. Maybe this is a season for you to just not do much, embrace that season, because it's not gonna be there forever. Sometimes they're gonna be busy than others, and I just learned to embrace all of those seasons in my life. So I hope you guys enjoy this episode. We're gonna talk about just taking a break and blocking all the noises, external noises in our life, because I know external noises exist, especially in this generation where we have Instagram and we have TikTok. Everyone is trying to tell us how to live. Have you ever been on TikTok and seen those people who are like, ladies, this is how you should treat a man, I must do this is how you should get money, this is how to manifest, blah blah blah. Like, it's a lot. And nowadays when I see those things in my TikTok, I like, honestly, I feel like I want to block them. I scroll so fast because it's a lot of noises, like, and it gives us a lot of pressure. As much as they think that they're trying to help, for me it's a lot. Even from our peers, like, sometimes there's a lot going on with their pages. Like, this generation, it's a lot, and I get it, and sometimes it can be very overwhelming. Something else that made me want to talk about this topic is because most of people my age have graduated, and it can be a lot because it's like you're trying to figure out your career, like where to go from here. And it's very easy for you to get lost, and it's very easy for you to crash, because it's like you feel very overwhelmed and you want to take time to upgrade your life and to be that best version of yourself so that you can know what you want to do. Then this is a place for you to be, so stay tuned. The first advice that I'll give you is take a break from people and from unnecessary stuff in your life. I also feel bad saying this because we love our friends and we love people around us. But guys, you have to remember that you need to get to know yourself. This is a period for you to get to know yourself, because when you remember you've been in school, you've always been surrounded by people, and you've never spent time just alone to get to know yourself. Dedicate 6 months to work on yourself. If you can do 1 year, it's fine, but I'm just giving you 6 months. And I know there are people on TikTok who always say, oh, to upgrade your life, do this in 1 month. But guys, I know that's a lie, because short-term things don't last. If you have a routine just for 1 month and then you stop doing it, and then you think that tutaendelea kufanya, guys, trust me, it's not gonna last. What you're gonna do, dedicate 6 months. I know it seems a lot, but when you get into it, guys, it's gonna go by so fast. And by the time you're getting out of that little cave of yours of self-isolation, when you get out of there, you're gonna see a lot of impact in your life. You're gonna see your life changing very well, because your mindset is gonna change. You're gonna be more productive with yourself. You're gonna know yourself more. You're gonna know your self-worth more, because you've gotten to know who you really are and not what everybody else tells you. So step number one, take a break from people and distractions. And I know that people who always say that, who always feel bad when people say that you cut them off, but it's okay to cut people off. But then I wouldn't advise you to like cut people off like in a bad way. Go tell them that, okay, these 6 months of my life, I want to be available. I want to be available while hanging out with you because I'm working on myself. Or if we hang out, it's like once in a while, because guys, you have to remember that nobody's coming to save you, and you have to do it for yourself. And you don't have to cut every friend that you have. You just select, because sometimes they're just friends who you hang out when you're going to the club, and I don't think this is a time for you to go to the club or to drink or to do anything like that. You can just call them and say, I want to be available to go to the club with you anytime soon, but you know what, when I'm back, I'll definitely hit you up. Like, tell them in a very nice way, because they will understand. If they don't understand, then I think they're not mature and it's time for you to just leave. Any friend who is supportive will understand where you're coming from, will understand what you're trying to tell them. I also feel guilty because sometimes I fail to communicate with my friends on how I feel, but I feel it's very important. We are all mature now. Like, we have to communicate with people. We have to make them understand what you're trying to do with our lives, and vice versa. If my friend comes and tell me that they're taking, they don't want to hang out because they're going through some season now, I'll definitely understand, because what you need to understand is that we all have different seasons in our lives. Don't think you and your friend will be in the same path every time. Talking about distractions, social media is one of the distractions. This is the time for you to cut off, to delete, not even cut off, to delete Instagram, to delete TikTok, because they're distractions unless you work from there, unless Instagram is your job or TikTok is your job. But this is the time for you to cut off the social media, because it's a lot. Or you can do this to yourself so that you are not bored that much. You can say, on Friday evenings, I'll install social media. Then when it comes to Sunday evening, I'll be deleting TikTok or Instagram. Do that to yourself. It will create your routine, and you will even notice that you don't want to be on those apps anymore, because they're not necessary in our lives. And one thing about life is that when we are used to something, you think that you can't live without them, but that's a lie. You can live without them. For example, me, I was this kind of person who nilikuwa nimefollow like a lot of like clothing brands, because guys, I love fashion, I love clothes, I love shoes. So nilikuwa nimefollow a lot of them. So like every week buy. If I see something nice, I wouldn't resist. I will buy it, because I thought it makes me feel happy having just something new. You see how those TikTok girls are like, oh, when I'm depressed, I just buy clothes. It will just make you want to feel that way in that moment, but then after that it's like, now what's next? So I used to be that kind of person, and honestly it had a lot of disadvantages, because I didn't realize it then, but once I worked on myself, and now I see those pages and I'm like, I'm not even interested in buying any of these clothes. It just made me realize how unnecessary they were in my life, and I just wanted them so that I can be happy. Even if it's clubbing or a party pooper, you have to understand that you can live without that. Trust me, you can. I know sometimes when you're young, you're like, oh, I want to have fun when I'm young. But guys, remember, you're going through something and you need to put action in it. Party after you've figured out your life. Trust me, because at least utapati vizuri. Don't just go in a place where makes you forget your problems, and then Monday kikuja, it's like, oh, I feel like this job sucks, or this situation that I'm in, it sucks. Take a break from all those things and face what you're facing and try to change them, not going in places that increase your dopamine and you feel as if you're happy and then get sad again. So yeah, definitely restrict yourself from buying unnecessary stuff. Restrict yourself from social media, because it's not worth it. And even ordering food, guys, the small things like ordering food, also that's a distraction. That's a dopamine thing. Because last year I remember, okay, I've improved by the way. I remember when Art Cafe used to have like double burger, like you buy one get one free. Hey guys, I used to buy them because they were so nice. It was called Art Burger. Oh, they were so nice. But this is a time for you to just be disciplined in yourself. When you come out of this era of yours, you will love yourself more, and you'll see how disciplined you are. And even you will trust yourself more, because it's like you can have 1 million but you won't buy unnecessary things. The other tip that I'm going to give you during this period of you working yourself, listen to podcasts. Start listening to podcasts that benefit you. And one benefit about podcasts, it really increases your concentration span. With TikTok has already destroyed our concentration span, you need something that honestly that helps you concentrate. You can sit down and watch 1 hour 40-minute video or even 2 hour video. You have to increase your concentration span. Also me, I'm still working on that, because sometimes I find myself not being able to concentrate much, but listening to podcasts is such a good way. And one of the podcasters that I like listening to is called Asha Christina. I know by now, if you have listened to my previous episode, you already know this now. Asha Christina is one of the podcasters who I listen to, and those people who, when it's Monday morning and I don't feel like doing anything and I open her podcast, I just get a lot of psych to continue doing what I have to do to get my job done. He's those kind of people who make you want to wake up and go for the win and just be the best version of yourself. I love her so much. Another episode that I listened to is called Andrew Huberman. He's a mind scientist. He just talks about how our routine affects us, and how the mind works, things like that. And he's so nice. He invites a lot of guests who are professional in a certain topic, and they talk about a lot of things. But I also advise you to listen to a lot of podcasters, honestly, to just see how they think. Just be open, just listen to people, but don't let everything people say enter your brain. Have discernment, know what you want to take in your life and what you don't want to bring in your life. And that's on period. But also you can listen to other podcasters who talk about every topic, any topic that you're interested in, guys. Like, it will just benefit you and make your concentration span increase more. The other advice that I'm gonna give you is start reading books. Guys, if you're a reader, you're so lucky. But for me, I remember even in high school, I've never been interested in reading books, and I thought it's because I didn't have a high concentration span. But that's a lie. I found out that I don't like fiction. I don't like things that, to think of scenarios that are not true. I don't like that, and I came to that conclusion. But then I like reading like self-help books and stories of prominent people, things like that. That's what I enjoy most. And self-help books that I like reading, my favorite author is Robert Greene. He has written the following books: 48 Laws of Power, Mastery, The Art of Seduction, and The Daily Laws. I'm currently reading Mastery, and I'll be reviewing the book soon. So stay tuned. If it's not next episode, it's the episode after next episode. Yeah. But this is the period for you to start reading books. If you love fiction, read fiction. If it doesn't matter, read books. Books also help you in your discipline and helps you in increasing your concentration span. But I really advise self-help books too. Like, if you're trying to grow yourself and you're trying to better yourself, self-help books should be mandatory for you during this period. But remember, you can do whatever you want to do. You can change some of the things. You don't have to do exactly what I'm telling you to do. But also you can read political books, economic books, anything that you are really interested in, really. And stories of prominent people, which I've said earlier. If you're having trouble finding book sites, go to the Library Africa. My cousin recommended this to me. It has a lot of books there. You don't have to pay money so that you can go buy books, because it can be expensive, guys. It can be, unless you want a specific one that is not there. But the Library Africa has a lot of books, so go check it out. I'm gonna put a link in the description below, because there are a lot of fake books out there, fake the library on the Google. So yeah, the other advice that I'm going to give you is always write a to-do list and have a routine. Having a routine and to-do list go very hand in hand, because if you don't have a to-do list, then you won't even have a routine. And I remember last semester we had this lecturer who will mostly like force us to have a to-do list every day. When we come to class in the morning, that class was 8 a.m. She will make us open our phones so that you can show her to-do list that we wrote. And when the semester began, people didn't have that to-do list. But when the semester was over, a lot of people started writing a to-do list. And honestly, for me, to-do list is something when I missed doing even one day. I feel so bad, because when I was in this period, I trained myself to always write things to do every day. And I'm not saying a to-do list should have 10 things. Guys, you can write even 4 things, 3 things, as long as you finish them. Remember, the goal is to finish the things that you've planned to do. Me, I used to write even the smallest things, like have breakfast, shower, go for a run, listen to podcasts, pray. Like, write everything down so that when you go to bed, you are like ticking everything that you've said that you wanted to do, and then it makes you feel good. It does something to your brain to give you that boost to continue doing it again and again. I'm referring that to the podcast of Andrew Huberman. He likes talking a lot about how the brain works, which is so interesting. So yeah, to-do list honestly is a must-have, guys. Please have a to-do list. And my advice to you is to create a to-do list at the night, so that when you wake up, it's just like you do them. And then in the evening, you tick what you've already done, and then write another one for the following day. So yeah, and the last advice that I'm gonna give you during this period of isolating yourself and working on yourself is try to know God. And this will be the first one, guys. I wish I kept this the first one, but save best for last. Get to know your God. Have a relationship with God, because I feel like most Africans, we were raised with our parents who are Christians, which are good, which is good. You went to Sunday school, which is amazing. You went to Christian school, but guys, we didn't have that relationship with God. We didn't get to know Him for who He is to me as a person, as an individual, to you as a person. This is the time for you to get to know your God. Read your word, pray. If it's hard for you, pray to Him. Tell God that you want to know Him, and make Him assist you, saying, make Him help you. And it can be hard, especially if you don't know where to start. New Christian can be hard, because you're like so confused. It's like, okay, I want to do this, but I don't know what to do. You're starting. But guys, nowadays there is everything online. Just go on YouTube, search being a new Christian. How should I start? You will get advice. pray to God to help you during this time also. And He's the beginning for everything. Even before you do all these other things, pray to God first. And the episodes, Christian episodes that I listen to that I advise, number one is Reconcile the podcast. These are Kenyan podcasters. They're so nice. Number two that I've started listening this year is called Heart Dive with Kano Gibson. She's amazing, and I think this is my year podcast, guys. Like, I love this podcast, and her Bible study is so good. The other that I listen to is called Robin Boynton. But guys, it doesn't matter. You will find your own people. You'll find people who resonate well with you when it comes to Bible studies, because I believe that things change, and when your season changes, you can find new people who you want to listen to, and it's fine. So yeah, guys, I think I'm done with this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope it impacted you in one way or another, in a good way. And see you guys in the next episode. Bye.